Soldiers of the Last Man Battalion, this is your commanding officer, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Bliss. There were those among us who were angry when the decision was made to leave us behind. Leave us to die, as some people said. But I looked around at this city, and I saw opportunity. I saw what it had been. And I saw what it could be once again if someone had the guts to fight for it. If there were men willing to go out in the streets and take them back from the degenerates and the lowlifes who ruled them now, to do what the cowardly government and its fearful, weak soldiers were too afraid to do, and to cut down all the liars and murderers and thieves who stand in the way of peace. We will not look back. We will not compromise. We will do whatever it takes to ensure a better tomorrow for all those who stand with us.
Beaten in despair, cruel with the blows as they battered and impaired. He was shown no sympathy and he wouldn't be spared. And over time people were gathered and stood there. They watched the punishment get delivered with no care. But when he looked around at the faces that all stared, he saw his own face, that's when he became scared.
So, this is the big one. LMB's last foothold on the island is the last place you'd expect those sons of bitches to hole up. The United Nations.
We've got ears on their comms and eyes on the compound, and it's clear this is where Colonel Bliss wants to make his last stand.
Thud like a cannon on the line, vivid echoes of the dream on his mind. This week, the third of its kind. Now his bottles of meds will conceal, but wounds left open are harder to be healed. I know some case files are better if left sealed, unless he take them pills, insomnia won't yield. Well, no rest for the wicked, such is the fruit of a life with no limit. Ghosts of the past always tend to revisit. Rarely will they come bearing gifts of forgiveness. And from the streets to the raw, so much violence he made. As he grew in age, he began to follow different ways, hounded by the haunted memories from the days that he was detrimental. Man, he wished that he could change that, but one can never really leave what's behind. You can't undo the fate you designed. Cover up the tracks and bloodhounds will find, cause all debts owed get paid in due time. Evil on the mind and blood splatter in the air. Gag in his mouth, he was strapped to a chair. Hood on his head, when lifted her face stared. He was looking at himself, that's when he became scared. Cruel with the blows that battered and impaired. Fading from the world and beaten to despair. Beyond all hope and clinging to one prayer. Let him soon pass out from the pain and be spared. But the pain kept coming, weak from the rivers of blood that kept running, and faint from the image uncovered in front of him. He knew with the angel of death he'd confronted. Ain't no mercy in that self-combat. Foot to his chest to tip his chair back, cause this tormentor was eager to give more. Put a cloth to his face to follow the waterfall. Then he awoke with a cough and a heave. His heart pound like cannons in mid-siege. Vivid echoes of his terrified screams, cause nothing ever just is what it seems. Then he noticed his clothes were soaked clean. Sheets on his bed were drenched to extreme. But this time around he knew it was no dream. From the smell he could tell he was covered in gasoline. And in the corner by the door was a man, cloaked in the shadow with a cigarette in hand. With no words spoken, a motive and clear plan. Well, Law's fan, calm as a bitch, law of the land. Till then he had averted, but was homicide certain. And that guilt inside him hurting, he concluded with the verdict. If this is what it takes to serve as my life's penance, bring on that inferno, I'm ready to greet the menace. Evil on the mind and burnt skin in the air. Smoke fill his lungs as he breathed in despair. Devil on his shoulder with snicker with no care. This a one-way journey without hope or a prayer. Fading from the world and thinking don't be scared. Let it all go, get ready, be prepared. As he looked through the blaze at the body that stood there, he saw his own self in the minds that just glared.
Well, here I am, Aaron Keener, the first wave's prodigal son. Normally I'd do this face-to-face, but I'm not 100% sure which way you'll jump. You act one way when Miss Lau is watching, and another way entirely when you're off the leash. That's an interesting contradiction. You see, I think that deep down you get it. You know, the old rules, laws, governments, those things died on Black Friday. But the feral PMCs, the convicts, the ones smart enough and good enough to take what they need, they'll survive. Me? I'm gonna prosper. Oh, you could too, but you took an oath, right? You got a duty. Those are both ways of saying that your conscience is fucking you. You ask yourself, who has earned a right to tell you what to do? Do you know how many agents died to hold the Dark Zone just for the brass to give up and put a wall around it? You don't believe me? You should check the place out for yourself. But the people you're working for, they're irrelevant now. Amherst changed how the game is played, and I have got the vision to win. I got Chernenko, I got a DNA printer, and a very interesting recipe book. I'm gonna write my own rules. You should think about getting in on this thing. I'll be seeing